What's up everyone, Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video, and today we are talking about Poliwrath. Now this Pokemon is pretty interesting. It has some really cool tools, things like Belly Drum, which is always amazing. I mean, Belly Drum just maxes your attack, which is crazy. It also has the ability Swift Swim, which doubles its speed in rain, which is really cool, makes it, really good in rain, obviously. Every ability that doubles speed is pretty solid. Like, not every Pokemon is just amazing, but every Pokemon is solid, has that really cool ability that makes it really strong and synergetic in that weather, which is really cool. This Pokemon has really good stats across the board, and by really good, I mean pretty average, a little bit above average, but, it's every single stat is pretty good, so that's pretty cool. The only stats that are a little bit lackluster are speed and, Swift Swim, so that's cool. Also special attack, but we don't use that. Anyway, this Pokemon is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So water fighting is an interesting type. We have Urshifu right now, which is the same typing, but, a better mon. But yeah, Poliwrath is water fighting, which is pretty cool. Gives us 5 weaknesses as well as a bunch of resistances, which is pretty solid. Not great, nothing to write home about. It's a fine typing, It's good offensively now as well. We have a lot of really good water type Pokemon, so Poliwrath has a lot to compete with. Even as far as Swift Swim users, it has a lot to compete with. Kingdra being the most obvious choice that most people just tend to default to, and then we have Ludicolo as well. Barraskewda is pretty notable. So we have a lot of Pokemon that do have that Swift Swim nature, or Swift Swim ability. Yeah, Poliwrath is pretty cool. So stats. HP at 90 is pretty good, and then defense and special defense at 95 and 90 respectively. Very, very, a little bit above average, just really solid natural bulk, just really solid natural bulk. No quad weaknesses. This Pokemon's going to be there for a little bit. But you do have Belly Drum, which eats half of your HP, and then Sitrus Berry gives you back 25, so you're going to be sitting there at 75% HP, so a lot of things are going to be taking you out. Poliwrath mostly will have to be sitting next to a Follow Me user, and we lost our best Follow Me user, Togekiss, but we still have things like Clefairy, Togekiss, even Rage Powder Pokemon like Volcarona and Amoonguss, so there's definitely a lot of good partners that can still make that Belly Drum very, very live. We also, of course, have some good Drizzle Pokemon. I mean, we don't have Kyogre, but we do have Pelipper and of course Politoed. So, you definitely have good partners for both of its abilities, Swift Swim and Belly Drum. It's 2 signature moves, or just signature things in general for Poliwrath. Anyway, that is about it for the overview. Also, attack 95, which is really good. Speed at 70. Well, it's not really good, but it's really good for a Belly Drum Pokemon. And then speed at 70 is also very good for a Swift Swim Pokemon. So we become really fast and really strong with Belly Drum and Swift Swim supplements. Anyway, that is going to be it for the overview. Let's go ahead and talk about the VGC set itself. So as far as the VGC build, we are running Swift Swim, of course. Like I was saying, doubling your speed is nothing to, not do when you can do it. Why wouldn't you? It's very, very strong. Swift Swim is great. Sitrus Berry as our item, since we're going with the Belly Drum set for today. Belly Drum eats 50% of our HP to max our HP, or to max our attack. And then Sitrus Berry, go ahead and eat that, take 25% back. So then you're sitting there at 75% HP, which is very, very solid. Not that great, not that bad. We did put a little bit of investment into bulk just so that we can bulk up a little bit, be a little bulky. I'll explain the EV spread here in a moment. Let's talk about some moves. So, of course, we went with Swift Swim, Sitrus Berry, nothing there too weird. As far as our moves go, Liquidation, Drain Punch, Belly Drum, and Protect. Now, it's a pretty, neutral set, exactly what you would expect. Dual Stab, Protect, and then one move of choice, which here is Belly Drum, giving us that maximum attack, which is really cool, letting us, OHKO just about everything, Dynamax or not. And if you do Dynamax, you have really strong Max Knuckles that make this Pokemon and its partner Pokemon really strong. And then we also have, Max Geyser, of course, that can set it Rain for itself, which is really cool. You don't have to Dynamax this Pokemon after a Belly Drum. You're very, very buff, but you might as well go ahead and Dynamax and get that HP buff, which makes a lot of sense. Poliwrath is pretty cool in that regard. Alright, so Liquidation, Drain Punch, both can be switched out for a different move. Liquidation could become Waterfall if you want, like if you really value that chance to flinch over the little bit of damage. And then we also have Drain Punch as well. You could switch that out for close combat, but Drain Punch really gets the job done, and then it gives you HP back, which is is very, very good as well. Belly Drum is the whole thing about this team, and then Protect is just there because it's Protect. Protect is really good, especially on a Belly Drum Pokemon. You go turn 1, follow me, set up Belly Drum, and then the next turn Protect, and then deal with something as well as you can. Now, obviously, if you have Clefairy next to it, that would more so, like the Protect with Follow Me would more so work for something like Togekiss that can apply pressure after Follow Me, but it is what it is. We lost that guy, so whatever. Anyway, Poliwrath. Other moves that we have. So this Pokemon actually has a really deep move pool filled with good spread moves, good coverage moves. So, you can definitely switch up a little bit of its moveset and could gain a lot of mileage on the correct team. So we have moves like Rock Slide, Ice Punch, Darkest Lariat, Poison Jab, Giga Impact, Brick Break, and Coaching. So Coaching, giving you that 1.5 times damage and or like attack and defense on the partner Pokemon, so it's really good. It's like super helping hand. I like Coaching a lot. I think it's really good, but it doesn't have that priority. So Coaching is cool on this Pokemon, but not something I'm going to be using, but I think it's cool. Brick Break is also really good in the meta. I think Grimmsnarl and Lapras are both going to trend up a lot with the ban list, so yeah, the Brick Break gets a lot of mileage. Giga Impact becomes Max Strike, which is good for speed control, making things like Kingdra that already outspeed you not outspeed you anymore is really strong. Other than that, it's just a lot of damage as well, but you don't really want to be using it, not Dynamax, so that's why it's like a medium thing, like maybe it's good. And then, Poison Jab, Darkest Lariat, Ice Punch, Rock Slide, all really good coverage moves. Rock Slide can be good, get fast flinches with Swift Swim active, so that's good. A lot of really good moves, really deep, diverse move pool for coverage moves. Very good stuff. Let's talk about this EV spread. So I put 132 into HP, 182 plus into attack, or 188, I mean, plus into attack and speed. So let's start with the speed. So I put it to 188 to hit 114 so that we can outspeed a lot of Pokemon in rain. And also that, from 114 to 122, we're not really outspeeding anything additional. So out of rain, nothing really changes from 114 to 122, which is its max speed. Obviously without Jolly as well. It hits like 134, I think 132 or 134. Not that fast. It's not like incredibly fast without rain. So you really do want to center this Pokemon around rain. You want to be in rain a lot of the time is pretty much what I'm saying. And when we are in rain, we have speed tiers, so we're not going to cover too much about the speed, but when we are in rain, we're very fast and it's very good. As far as the attack goes, we went to 188 plus so that we could take the knockout on some key Pokemon with Belly Drum, things like Clefairy. Once again, we'll see, I have damage calcs a little bit later on in this video, so we'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, we are taking pretty keen knockouts on a lot of things non-Dynamax or Dynamax with that good bit of investment into attack. You could go more if you want to. And in a format, not like the restricted format we're about to see or the limited with bans, then, maybe you'll want to just go like more into attack or more into speed. But yeah, like I wanted to calculate this a little bit more. You guys like it a lot more when I, calculate the EV spread a lot more than just 252, 252, 4. So, whatever. Anyway, yeah, 188 is needed for speed, 188 was needed for attack, so I just put the rest into HP for general bulk, and we're going to be Dynamaxing this Pokemon a good bit, so I just put the rest into HP over defense or special defense or anything like that. It's pretty good. We didn't really need the HP to live certain calcs, but it does help us live certain calcs, which is, of course. Anyway, that is going to be it for our VGC set, our build. Let's go ahead and talk about these two Synergetic Pokemon down in the right corner, bottom right corner. So we have, Politoed, of course. Politoed makes a lot of sense. It sets rain. It's really bulky. It has Pair Song, helping hand support. It's a very supportive Pokemon. It sets rain. It's really good. I like it a lot. It's probably, my favorite, rain setter probably ever. I mean, obviously, like, Kyogre is absurd. Like, there's a lot of really good Drizzle Pokemon out there, but, Politoed is very solid. It has a lot of really solid features. Its bulk is really good as well. So, yeah, it works a lot. It works really well, is what I'm saying. Anyway, Clefairy is our other one here. This, honestly, like I said earlier, it just signifies, like, any kind of follow me. I picked Clefairy because it's very bulky. It has Eviolite. It's very supportive as well. It has Helping Hand, which can help Poliwrath with certain calcs. It has, Life Dew, heal up that damage from Belly Drum, and most importantly, Follow Me, so that your Belly Drum can go off turn 1 without a hitch, which is what we really want to see with Poliwrath. We do have other things as well for Poliwrath, things like, Volcarona, Amoonguss, the other Follow Me Pokemon, like I was saying, you just want one of those for Belly Drum, and then, you know, it goes down, and then you bring in Rain Setter, and then Poliwrath just starts sweeping. So that's what we want to be doing. Anyway, that is going to be it for this slide. Let's go ahead and move on to speed tiers. So as far as speed tiers go, like I said, we are very fast under Swift Swim. We hit 228 with 188 speed, which is really good. You know, we're only getting outsped by a couple of certain Pokemon. You know, of course, other things if they take away our weather, but you know, I have that at the bottom as well. So initially, if we have our Swift Swim active, we are getting outsped by a couple of Pokemon. Hydreigon's Scarf is a pretty relevant one. It is definitely being trended up right now. We're going to be seeing a lot more Hydreigon in these next 2 months with the implementation of the bans. We also have Kingdra there at the very top. It is outspeeding Poliwrath. It just, you know, naturally outspeeds by a lot. There's nothing we can really do. We can't hit that speed tier either. So, you know, whatever. Next, we have our Form Change Rotom being outsped by us. That is the main Pokemon that I had in mind when I put up to 188 speed, so that we could outspeed Form Change Rotom just barely with Scarf and max speed. And then also Komodo with Clingerous Soul and max speed, which is really cool. And then also things like Braviary after max Airstream. There's a lot of really cool Pokemon that are really fast that Poliwrath with 188 speed and Swift Swim active just outspeeds, which is very good. Pokemon that outspeed us without Rain, though, is a lot. You know, all of the Pokemon that I already mentioned, and then we also get outsped by things like Dracozolt, Braviary, Komodo, Duraludon. You know, all those Pokemon from that 139 up are going to be outspeeding us. So, you know, without Rain, it's pretty mediocre speed, but we're going to have Rain up a lot of the time, so it's okay. Let's move on now. Let's go on to damage calcs. So, as far as damage calcs go, I'm not saying that this is like the out to PZ Clef, because, you know, we're going to be taking a lot of damage from PZ, you know, we're taking a lot of damage over the course of this turn and the next turn, especially if we have to Belly Drum up. So I'm not saying it's a good matchup with PZ Clef, but if you are in the position and this is your only answer, then we do a lot of damage to PZ and Clef. So PZ does a lot of damage to us, though, so be very careful. But when you're up against Clefairy, you can take out the Clefairy with the +6 from Belly Drum, plus Liquidation, which is very, very strong. You know, Liquidation, taking it out guaranteed with Eviolite Clefairy, max investment into HP and special defense, or HP and defense, rather. And, yeah, that's a really good calc to have. Just take out Clefairy is great. I expect Clefairy to be really, really, played a lot in the meta. So, yeah. Belly Drummed up Poliwrath Drain Punch into Porygon Z, hits 177 to 208, which is a guaranteed OHKO into its Dynamax form. Like, we're doing a million damage. That's pretty much what Poliwrath wants to do. It's just infinite damage with Belly Drum. Next, we have Poliwrath Drain Punch from +6 Belly Drummed up boy into Lapras. This was just the most used defensive calc for Lapras on Pikalytics. Do 52 HP and then 52 defense. We are taking it out Dynamax 101 to 119, that exact spread. Now, obviously, you know, Laprases might have more defense. They might even go for, you know, a lot of defense at HP, and, you know, you'll have to see. But yeah, this, especially if you like Helping Hand or coaching or anything, then you're going to be taking out Laprases, which is really, really good. Also, you know, they're going to set up Aurora Veil with max resonance, so this isn't always going to be the most relevant calc, but it's still really cool to know that the damage is there. Next, we have Belly Drummed up Poliwrath Liquidation into Dynamax, Charizard, or Gmax, whatever you want to say. It is at 194 to 229. Now, obviously, you know, a lot of the time it's going to be accompanied with that Sun. You know, obviously we will have Torkoal, but we still have Ninetales, we still have Prankster, Sunny Day, things like, you know, Sableye and Leopard, Pokemon like that. Do still have access to that. So Charizard will still be able to, you know, set up the Sun, and then Belly Drum. Liquidation isn't going to do as much damage, but the damage is there once again, so that's good. Next, we have Adaptability Porygon Z with Life Orb max invested into Special Attack. These are two defensive calcs. Max Strike from Hyper Beam base at 150 BP into our Poliwrath with 132 HP is going to be hitting 68 to 81%. Now, this is a pretty scary calc because you know, about half the time we're going to be at 75%. So about half the time it is going to be taking a guaranteed OHKO after we Belly Drum. So, you know, we have Follow Me for that, which is really good, but at the same time it is a really spooky calc that you know, it's not perfect. It's not what we want to see every time, is what I'm saying. Next, we have Dynamax. Oh, that's also into our Dynamaxed boy, which we're not always going to be Dynamaxing, so keep that in mind as well. Next, we have our Dynamaxed Primarina, Max Starfall, Life Orb, Max Investment, you know, even Quiet Nature, giving it plus special attack. Like, it's just the most damage Primarina is realistically going to be doing. Max Starfall into our Dynamax Poliwrath. Hits a lot of damage, 92 to 109, which is a 56% chance to OHKO. That's a lot of damage. So, you know, that's not a great matchup as well. If it's Life Orb, but there's no way to tell until it starts attacking. So, yeah, it's a sketchy matchup. Anyway, that is going to be it for our damage calcs. Let's move on to our single spotlight real quick before I end the video. So, single spotlight, I don't expect Poliwrath to be super used in, you know, singles. It doesn't really do much more than many other Pokemon. You know, like fairly bulky waters that can do damage. I think a lot of other Pokemon are going to be better than it. You know, most notably Urshifu. It does the same thing with water fighting, but does more damage and is faster without rain. So, you know, but it's not very bulky. Anyway, Poliwrath. In single spotlight, we are running Leftovers as well as Water Absorb so that we can switch it in pretty safely against water type Pokemon or water type attacks, which is really good. We run Bulk Up so that we can switch it in, take an attack, Bulk Up, not care about the attack. They switch out, and now we're sweeping real hard with Drain Punch, Liquidation, Ice Punch. Looking pretty good there. As far as our investments went, we just went 252 into attack and speed, and then the 4 left over into special defense. Adamant Nature for most damage we can possibly do. That is about it for Poliwrath in singles. Like I said, I don't expect to see it a lot. And honestly, in VGC, I don't expect to see it a lot either, just because most people will default to using like Kingdra or something. And if they're looking for a water fighting type, most teams will just default to Urshifu as well. Urshifu being, you know, one of the most used and one of the most prevalent and expected Pokemon as we move into this limited format with the bans. So that is about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. In sum up, I think Poliwrath is pretty cool. It has Swift Swim and Belly Drum, which are both amazing things on their own. Combine them into a really cool Pokemon with pretty decent natural bulk as well as pretty decent natural attacking damage as well. I think Poliwrath is cool, but I am probably not going to be going to it very frequently just because, you know, Kingdra's so strong and has great speed control as well as just being so fast. And yeah, Poliwrath is a little bit lackluster seemingly next to it, but, you know, Belly Drum, kill everything is cool. Anyway, that is going to be it for the video. It's super long. Sorry that it was so long, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You know, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It makes a huge difference for the channel, as well as, you know, following me on Twitter and joining my Discord. Do all of those things. Makes me a happy, happy man. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.